such they did this, but at the same time, why? Because they have made a way, they have made it to where they are, and so when it comes to issues within our community, we can't really condemn people that have actually tried to do certain things. Lack of confidence also is a very important thing that happens in our community, because what happens is that you'll have another person that's really productive, like you just spoke about. You have a person that wants to get into business. They have awakened and they realize that they can't be off of the subsidies that the government presides with. And so they like, man, how can I do this and that? Now the hard-headedness comes in. Do they want to listen? Do they actually want to put in the work that is necessary for them to develop and grow that business? Whether it be recording, creating clothing, a restaurant. And by the way, a lot of the things that our people go off of is restaurants and sports. And that's another manipulative thing when it comes to success.
You talking about the types of companies that we typically build?
Yeah, that we follow behind. Like, it's like, oh man, that guy.
Barbershops and churches.
Barbershops.
Barbershops is everywhere. Churches is everywhere.
Well, barbershops.
Liquor stores everywhere.
That ain't ours.
Detailing shops.
That's
everywhere.
not ours though.
Detailing shops.
Detailing shops. Those are. Ain't nothing wrong
T-shirts.
with these. There's nothing wrong with. What are we talking about? Services. There's nothing wrong with the services sector.
Yeah, but when you flood it.
But when you flood it with improper,
the business is there. Flood it.
Yeah, but see, now you're flooding something. Okay, so you flooded with the mid-Ks, you flooded with the barbershops, you flooded with the liquor stores. Even though that it's a product and it's got some sort of value, is it the right value that's supposed to be in our community? Because
and Steve, you just said something great, because now look at all the barbershops that are flooding in the community, and half of those barbers do not cut hair all the time. They doing something on the side because it's too much competition. So it's taking and it's slowing down because you gotta remember hairstyles changes constantly. So sometime one year people decided they want to get afros, they had to get them taper. Then next year they want dreads, they don't get them cut as much. So that cuts time. So there's always something's going on. So these barbers, a lot of barbers are doing something on the side.
You got there's approximately 90,000 people living in North Omaha. If we have 20 barbershops in North Omaha, that's fine.
Yeah, but look how many people are cutting their own hairs too.
Yeah.
That's just like so that's okay. Okay,
I
then
got
that's
my own hair, but I'll go over to D-Lo. Or
Think about let's look at it like this then. Okay, when Blockbuster and them was having they selling videos, bootleg came out, killed their business.
So what? That ain't the same as cutting hair.
It is, but when you start flooding the market, when you start over flooding the market, it cuts business. I'm just telling you, we need to start coming up with more business.
I do hear what you're saying, because we do need to. Hear me out. There are other niches, or however you say that we dominate in. We need to dominate in the entertainment sector. We need to dominate in seafood. For example, we eat more seafood than I think even the Mexicans. I think we eat more there. We need to have a black-owned Chinese joint. It might seem weird at first, but when you think about it, come on. We need to own the mid-Ks.
And look, this is what I want to point out. Or
get them out of here. Get them out of here.
I was just about to say, now, this is what I was going to say.
Technology, too. Come on.
Okay.
Well, it's okay.
So where the trust? Then we got to get the trust. We got to get the people to trust and coming in to buy from us.
I'm going to hit y'all with a number that is going to sound shocking at first, but it's reality, all based on what we're talking about today. There's over 3,300 black-owned businesses here in Omaha. Did you know that there's 33?
I didn't know exactly, but I believe it.
But guess how many employees they have? 200. So out of 3,300 black-owned businesses, you have 200 employees. So the lack of trust, what we were talking about, networking, compassion, understanding, not willing to hire our own. so that we can develop and provide jobs in the right places.
And why don't they want to hire our own? Because our own don't want to work.
No, man.
Because some of them don't want to come to work.
No, man, that's not a trust issue. That is us trying to utilize someone else's formula for success. That's what that is. You got the application on there that screens black people out because they got misdemeanors or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, whatever the charges are that are on their record. We know better than that. You know better than that. But you know if your man, you know if you got your homie, and you know your homie got into some erroneous bull crap, right? And then he go get the job from a black owner, and the black owner don't hire him. Come on.
Now that means that
that's retarded.
We got a crisis going on in our community then, because do you mean to tell me that there's that many people that have criminal records that hinder them from getting productive jobs, living productive lives in the society? That means that they don't have their value established, and the government, they're supposed to be establishing programs or different incentives to allow them people to after they do their crime, depending on what crime it is. Now, don't get me wrong. There's crimes out there that people need to be aware of and keep monitoring for the rest of their lives.
Obviously.
But the people that like these drug crimes and they're done with their sentence, they're living on continuously in that crime.
Let me tell you something. This is something that I used to tell like him, you, Mike, and then like there was like a few other dudes that's in your age group that all of a sudden in the late 2000s I started meeting y'all. I'm like, where's all these 45-year-old dudes coming from? They was all in jail. They was in jail. I'm like, that's how come I didn't never see. I'm the oldest in my family. Yeah. So when I looked up, I didn't see nothing but 50-year-olds. Yeah. I didn't see nothing but 60-year-olds. It went from me to old and gray. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Come to find out that based on the stuff that was happening in the 80s and the early 90s, these guys got taken away from me. Yeah. That's how I feel. That they got taken away from me.
Yeah.
And I don't now I'm not saying that the crimes and stuff that they committed, you just absolutely just be blind to it. But a lot of it, you should just be blind to it. You as African people.
Yeah, there's a lot
because the conditions that was going on in them time periods forced these individuals into them situations. Yeah, for them to get caught and for them to go to the joint for however long. Mm-hmm. That's why I just look at it way different now.
And on that aspect, yes, we have a lot of guys that I'm just saying for me, I had a construction business I had for 5 years ago. I couldn't sustain or maintain because I couldn't. Every time I tried to give brothers jobs, they would work just to get a check, and then all of a sudden you don't see them until their money ran out. Then they coming back, and just like I just couldn't sustain or maintain. So I had to go back and get a job. I had to go work back for the man, just so me to keep income. And I used to start doing this on the side. So then I start doing it on the side. So okay, let me just try to see if I can find some guys that I can find. Maybe I can find somebody while I'm working. Then I can quit my job and start this business back up. Try to do that again. Guys are still the same way.
Can I ask you a question on that though? Is that an opportunity for you as an owner, or is that just their fault? Is that just, you know what I'm saying? Is it their fault because they didn't exhibit the, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because they didn't exhibit the habits that you thought for success with your company, or is it their fault, or is it just?
Well, it's a lack of motivation, because once you if you only work just to get a paycheck, and then you want to go and splurge. I had guys. I'm lying you not. They cashing the check before the check is even in their hand. They on the phone telling the girl, we're going to the movies tonight. We're going to go do that. I'm just like, man, we ain't even got the job done yet. How you already planning for something? Wait till you get the job done. Your dreams is too far. You too far ahead. You know what I mean? So I used to always educate. I said, man, when you get your money, man, go buy a tool so you can stop using my tool. Mm-hmm. No, but we know what they want to do. They want to use your stuff up and beat your stuff up. And always and then want you to pick them up because they don't got no car, because they ain't trying to save, because they too busy trying to splurge, because they too busy trying to please. This is our mentality. That's what I'm saying by trust. that's why I say it's hard to build businesses in our community until we deal with those issues. We have some deep issues. I'm telling you, and it's going to have to start within the family circle first.
I don't disagree. I agree.
The family's going to have to fix it first, because if we don't fix that family thing, we ain't going to fix the community.
I do. I agree with that. I see that as, first you're talking about
He
fiscal.
said it was going to cut off on and off. He said as long as that green light is on, he's still recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're talking about fiscal responsibility in one of those, but I see that as an opportunity. That's an opportunity. If I see a dysfunction right there like that, why are they doing that?
Okay,
There's
Mike.
an opportunity in doing that. Let me see what they're doing. If they're doing that, then let me see if there's some nuance,
Okay, Mike. Okay.
some aspect of the job that I can to facilitate that behavior and still get them to do the job anyway.
Okay, Mike. Okay, here. I bought those buses.
Uh-huh.
I bought those things. Remember?
Yeah.
I had guys that say they wanted to do business.
Uh-huh.
They wanted to do it. They keep saying, "Oh, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody brought nothing to the table. And you know what? If I would have waited for them, I would never had them. I said, you know what? I got them. I'm going to get them, and hopefully now they get the visual that okay, he got it. So now let's just start putting this thing together.
Yeah.
Or they still ain't moving. And this is what I'm talking about. But all I hear is this.
It's still an opportunity.
Yeah, for me,
Are they-
because all I gotta do is say now, hey, you know what? I won't want to do business with you because for one thing, you're not on the 3C level with me. Because first thing, you don't know how to communicate. You're not consistent.
Well,
and
that's
you don't know how to
principle.
you don't know how to commit to something. So I would refuse to go in business with you when you don't even can't handle those three things. Because that's the first thing of business to me. First thumb of business.
Or what kind of partner are they? Are they, because like I ran into this with a couple of folks.
I'm not gonna take the risk.
I ran into this with a couple of folks. I understand that, but I ran into this with a couple of folks over the internet, and it was whether or not you do business with people that disagree with you, morally, philosophically, on principle, anything. Do you do business with them people? And my answer is yeah, of course.
Well, we got to look at the structure of the United States then, because
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I'm
because
going towards the Trump thing.
Yeah, because we're looking at the structure of the United States, and there's a lot of business that we do with people that we shouldn't be doing business with, but the money talks now, and so society is money driven. So when you start talking about, man, I don't know, this dude, he don't really have the same principles as I do, but his money is good, or her money is good.
I don't do it for the money.
But
Then
see,
he sells lead.
I don't do it for the money because that's the wrong disposition anyway.
it is the wrong disposition.
That's
but
that's letting the money make you. That's already wrong.
Well, remember, money is neutral until you use it. So when you get it from wherever avenue that you do get it from, because you got people that are just a prime example. You had Oliver North and Noriega working together, dropping drugs and monies and guns off into the different neighborhoods and communities. When they took that money, did they necessarily do all negative things with it? No, they washed it, and they went back into their respected areas and washed the money. And then when it came back out, if it came back out before the product did, because remember, it's better to establish more product than to use that money that you just got to reestablish, to recertify yourself in the game. But what happened was that after they washed it, they stacked it up, and they invested in land, they invested in bonds, stocks. That's why so many people have their hands in the pot of the United States of America, and we're trying to get them out right now.
All money ain't good money.
Because all money's not good money.
And that was the same thing with the Italians. Remember the Italians?
Yeah.
They said when they started selling dope, they told all the Italians, sell dope to those monkeys and do not bring it in our community. This was their philosophy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And they built their community up. And why we started to fall because we got hooked on the product.
That's what I'm saying.
Then they end up getting hooked on the product too because.
So let's take that example. You think they had some higher level of emotional fortitude in their community? No, they didn't. A lot of these, and I watch it. I watched it when I was working at TD Ameritrade. These folks, what they would do is they will Do it because the rules say do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did I say feelings anywhere in there?
Nope.
No.
They play it. If it when it's going up, buy it. When it's going down, sell it. And sometimes if you're somebody that holds your stock, you just hold it.
Mm-hmm.
You hold it because the thing's on natural incline over the decades. They do it because the rules say do it. We don't do that. We don't do it because the rules say do this right here. This is what we're trying to do. We want to buy up North Omaha. We're not doing that because we're too worried about all of the other. Well, how much credentials you got?
Yeah.
Well, how long have you been in the community? Oh my God!
Yeah, like
Do it because this is the rules.
Yeah.
This is how we got to do this.
Yeah. And you know what happens is that now failure is more prone to happen because you don't have a steady foundation. It goes right back to foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So say that, the people don't want to do it because they don't feel that they contributed into it. So they like, man, and they're speaking on people that hired in the black communities. Like, man, I didn't contribute, so I don't feel like I deserve to be part of it. Excuse me. And so they don't want to be part of it. And so when they do a lot of talking and saying, yeah, I'll be there. Mm-hmm. But their lack of motivation from what they didn't have, with another lacking, they feel like, oh man, well, he can or she can handle that the best way they can. And then it leads to you going and outsourcing. This is what happened to America. Everything that we're saying that happened within our community is what America did because they lost confidence in the American people and sent our jobs overseas.
They made us lazy. They made us lazy.
I believe we lazy.
They made us lazy.
That.
They made us lazy. And then they said, well, you know what? We just take our business out there to some people that want to work and they take cheaper wages.
I don't believe we're lazy. I don't think we're any more lazy than anyone else. I put it like that.
Yeah, we're not.
We're not, but that's their thinking.
Yeah, because look,
but we do got some lazy people.
Yeah, we do because of technology. Okay, so when we outsource and then they sent technology back that made our life more easy to handle. You got trash cans that you just put your foot on the handle. It pops open the lid and you place the trash in it. Okay. Now, that looks seems like that's normal. But before you took and you got the trash in your hand, you took the lid with your other hand, opened it, threw the trash in there, put the lid back on there. Now, what did it do? It eliminates your hand and eye coordination movement when interacting in certain environments. Now, the reason why I'm giving this example is because when we go to interact into the communities or when each other, talk to different people, we be like, oh man, what's going on? And it's like our eye coordination is not on point all the way. And the reason why is because when 24th Street was vibrant and we had all these jobs and all these movie theaters and grocery stores and all these things, people were interacting and looking at people directly in their faces and saying, hey, how you doing today, sir or ma'am? Oh, I'm doing fine. Hey, how's such and such? Oh, she's doing good. There was more interaction. Now that you got more of the drugs, more of the negativity coming into our communities, when we walk down the street, guess what? Mostly it's hoodies. Mostly, it's all like, oh man, mean mug indirectly faces. So when they looking and you go to these other communities and you see them out shopping and seem like they're happy, and then you come down to the hood areas or community lower income areas, then you's like, man, what's going on? It's about financials. It's about how can we drive the wage up, or how can, as far as them being employed, how can we get them better jobs so that they are feeling better about themselves so that they can maintain their communities.
You create them. You create them.
But
that's what you do.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're...
Hey, pick up that trash right there.
Yeah, but
that's your job.
But you know what?
That's your job.
But at the same time, they damaging us because what they do, our leaders is selling our community, having black people sell their land down north, selling it to Habitat or Warren Buffett and them, and then all of a sudden, now you got all these foreigners in here. Now, when you wake up and you look up in the morning, you're like, man, what happened to our community? The community that taught me all my pros and cons of life.
Okay.
That's like a slap in our face too.
I got you. But let me just break something down, right? Which country, which continent is let me see how you put that. Which country is newer? Is the baby? Is it the USA or say Ghana or Nigeria or Ethiopia?
You talking about economic growth or industry?
Which one is the baby? Is the United States? The United States is the baby, right?
Yeah.
The United States is what, 238 years old?
Yeah.
Ethiopia is thousands of years old. They had it right already. We got it right already. We can recognize when they're stealing stuff from us because that's our stuff. They're using it wrong. If they're using it wrong, let's just use it the right way over here. It ain't that. It's not even that difficult. It's not that difficult.
It's hard to mimic what's over there because they went over there and did the same thing.
What I'm telling you is, the mindset behind the act is determining the course. We don't have their mindset. You got black people time, right? You got stuff like niggas is always late, or what else do we do? Always with chicken, and we always do things a certain way. I'm saying, let's stop utilizing the European ideology or the European standpoint to judge what we're doing over here. That's not ours in the first place. You gotta get rid of that, throw that out, and look at and value our own version of whatever it is that we want to do. You would not have all these foreigners in the community. You would not have all of these gas stations that.
Yeah, but how do you identify something that people don't even recognize?
Do we need what they have? Then we create one of those and get them up out of here.
But you're talking to a conscious community versus a non-conscious community. We got the informed, misinformed, and uninformed. How do you get the uninformed and the misinformed to be informed?
All right, look, Phil's Foodway, right? White owner, right? We build our own grocery store. I think we got one that's growing right now too. At the I can't remember the name of it. I'm pretty sure we got
right down the street here, or
I'm not sure. But we have our own. You just said there was like 3,500 black-owned businesses here. I'm sure one of them's a grocery store, right? We got one.
Yeah, I mean you got Daddy's Market.
Okay, yeah, let's use that one. Okay. Daddy's Market. Mm-hmm. We got one. Phil's Foodway. If Phil's Foodway acts up, what we should do in that situation is boycott Phil's Foodway. When they dry up in 6 months, like they will, any business would. Put Daddy's grocery right there. Where
but you're talking philosophical and
that's not philosophical.
And hypothetically, but look, how are you gonna do that?
That's actionable strategy.
Okay, but
you can say, okay, we're gonna all spend right here.
Okay, now where's the money gonna come from to do that?
What the money that's going into Food Fieldway goes into Daddy's grocery.
Okay, so then you gotta coerce people not to.
You don't have to coerce them if they are being treated bad. If that was hypothetical, my fault. But if they are being treated badly by Phil's Foodway, neglect Phil's Foodway. We don't even neglect.
How many times we've been neglected and we still run back? It's like roaches checking the hotel. We never check out.
I'm saying we neglect Phil's Foodway. If we feel like mistreated by that organization.
Look.
You just mentioned all these groceries.
I just had a video when a lady walked into what's that place where women go in to get all their bras and stuff? Victoria's Secret.
Okay.
They was watching them with the thing and stopped them, racial profile, and they did it to like 20 women. And you know what? They all go back to the same place because there ain't that many of them.
Not women.
Oh, yes, they did.
I guarantee you. They're not going to go back to Victoria's.
No, they're not going to go get no cheap ones either. I'm going to tell you that. Am I right?
But you just got through mentioning all of these foreigners in the community. You're talking about the Chinese joint. You're talking about the gas stations. You're talking about.
The reason why they can do that because either they getting help from the government or they own people putting them back and them putting the money behind it.
That's fine, but if they companies don't work in our community, they gonna move. That's just how business works. If What's the hair place again? What's the name of the hair place?
Mid K.
If Mid K don't make if Mid K makes $1 in 6 months, they out of here. I guarantee you, because they're coming from an older culture. They see advantages that they can they see opportunities they can take advantage of here in America. They come in, they execute, and they sit right where all the consumers are. Where most of the consumers are in America, they're in the black communities. If we don't support them, they go away. It's just that simple.
Yeah, but
we gotta have maybe one. We gotta have one black-owned version of Mid K. Just any one of them. Call it instead of Mid K, call it Center K, but it's black-owned. Instead of Sally's, call it.
But it seems like what you're doing, you're going around.
Call it Jackie's.
I know, but what it is.
Yeah, we go to Jackie's now. We don't go to.
I know, but this is what you. I know, but the ideology is great. But what I'm saying is, you're going all the way around here, but you forget that here. This is the problem. The people is not going to support that ideal.
The problem is
that's the problem.
The only problem
you got to get the people to cooperate with that ideal.
No, the only problem is we haven't decided to create Jackie's. We haven't decided to create Center K.
There was many black businesses that came and failed because black people do not support black people. Look what that guy built, that all-in-one restaurant up there. Remember? That all-in-one restaurant up there.
And catering.
It was a big old restaurant he built up there. It didn't survive. The guy that built the Catfish Corner didn't survive. Everything in black North Omaha ain't surviving. Not even a Pizza Hut can survive in the black. Some of those. You gotta look at it. Yeah, you gotta look at it from this standpoint.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at it in terms of victimization. That's a victimized standpoint. I'm looking at it from the opportunistic or optimistic. That's what I'm looking at.
We burned down. Okay, let me give you a better analogy then. Okay, we got upset when the riots. And burnt down everything in the black community, right?
Okay.
This was a chance for everybody to come together and put their money together and say, you know what? Since we burnt down everything in here, now it's time for us to put our money together and build it back up. Has it happened? Look at 24th Street. No. Bam! That takes you right then and there. Your ideal, you gotta change the mindset.
When did that happen?
Many years, and it's
happened in the 60s, 70s.
Okay. I'll give y'all that one. I'm back.
But see, something just happened. Rodney King verdict.
But we got to look at the
So, like I said before, do you start with education first, or do you start with money first?
Education.
Because if a person's not educated, they don't know how to even handle money. I was just
thank you.
I disagree with both of y'all then.
Well, listen. So you
start with money.
Well,
you gotta start with money.
Financial is important, but education is really important. Because
how can you focus? If I teach you how to make money, like you said, teach them how to fish, they're gonna eat for a lifetime. If I teach you how to make money and you pay all your bills off, then you can go to school and focus.
And teaching them about how to make money what's that called?
I'm just saying. If I show you how to make money,
you educate.
If I show you, but you start with money though.
Well, no, you're teaching them the fundamentals of education. You don't put money in their hand. You ain't just gonna give them $100,000 and say, "Hey, this is how you spend it." No. You gonna say, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. No. What you gonna do? No, what you gonna do? You gonna walk him through your business and let him see how a business run. You ain't gonna put physical monetary money in his hand and say, okay, go ahead and I want you to do this, do that. It will not work that way. You won't even do that with your own kids.
That's too.
You gotta break that thing down.
I do that.
Well, with your kids, you educate them first. You're like, okay, these are the chores and different things I want done in the house. And then later on, after you see that they potentially know what they're doing, you establish an allowance. Because now they have worked in the way to where, like, okay, do you understand what money is? You're like, oh, because you could give a kid $5 and they'll just look at the $5 and be like, oh, okay, I got $5. But if they don't know what the financial value is of it, then they're not going to be able to spend it correctly. So what happens?
We gotta go through them. We gotta exercise that muscle because that's another one of them excuses. That's an excuse what you just said.
But no, well, it's not an excuse because okay, so how can we prove this to be correct? So then you go into the communities and then you say, well, damn, you got all these drug dealers and all these big ballers that got all this money, and they not doing nothing to rebuild the communities. They're throwing their money away at strip clubs. They're throwing their money away at malls. They're throwing their money away at ridiculous things.
Okay, then he says money. No, I give him a better scenario. Okay, here's your money. Since you said it starts with money.
You gotta start with money.
Okay, let me start with money then. Here's money. Athletes, rappers, they got money. What are they doing to come back to the communities that they're living in? Building banks.
You were talking about after they got money?
Yes. They got the money then.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
They ain't got no
money now.
Yeah, but they didn't get educated.
They get educated
No.
though.
If they got educated, then they would come
people
back.
Go to college and they get this money, and they do the whole entire time they walked and hand fed everything.
Y'all missing my point. Y'all missing my point. If you okay, because what y'all doing is y'all picking and choosing right now.
No.
If I start by showing you,
Come on, Mike,
if
man.
I start by showing you a consistent way you can make money. Hold on. If I start off by showing you a consistent way to make money, you will cure the I call them their distractions, their nuisance issues. You'll cure your nuisance issues. Then you can be educated on what you should do with your money.
So what about all these rappers that went broke? What about all these athletes and rappers that went broke?
When they got their money, they didn't become educated afterwards.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Because they didn't keep education at the forefront.
What do you do? What do you do after you get money? You go buy a bunch of crap, right?
You go buy a lot of things to satisfy.
But they have advisors. Don't they have advisors? They have accountants?
Obviously not. They broke now.
That was broke because of their accountants, because they didn't educate themselves to watch their accountant. LL Cool J said, this is what LL Cool J said.
Education
I had to go back to school to learn how to watch my money, watch them make my money, count my money.
You do have to.
That's what he said.
But that's the point, though. You should be perpetually learning how to manage your own situation better.
But if you learn that fundamental principle
in the
first,
beginning,
you won't make that mistake.
So when you got the money, you know how people be like, man, I wish. It'd be like, dang, man, I wish I would have knew what I knew then now, because if I did, I would have invested in skyscrapers. I would have invested in buildings. I would have invested in businesses.
Yeah, that's after him and his whole family is on already.
Yeah, but
after him and his whole family is well off, taken care of, and took advantage of opportunities that just by proxy being around him.
But what if
they took advantage of opportunities? Now they well off too.
So think about
give a dude a bunch of money like that.
And
he figure out how to make his own money.
But think about this. So what we see now is that we do a lot of fundraising for our communities when it comes to death and different things. And so if they would have been educated in understanding about life insurance, then financially, when the money would have came in later, which is an inheritance,
that's a great idea.
Then you would have been like, oh man, dang, now everything's taken care of. I don't have to do certain things. When we go to other communities, you don't see them fundraising in situ. You don't see them doing a lot of the things that our people do, and it's because we have a broken process. It does start in the house. I agree. It does start with financials, but one of the things that it must start with is education. Because if we're not educated properly,
I'm not taking nothing away from education. I'm just saying that's not the starting point right now. Given the condition that we're in, you start with money right now.
Well, okay.
You figure out how to be financially responsible. The part of that is educational.
Okay, well they did this with their natives. Okay, now I'm gonna show you, because I used to work for the Native Housing Authority. They gave all the natives reparations, right? Mm-hmm. They all get a check. They get checks every month. All of them. They get checks every month. They get free schooling. They get all this. No, it's almost $7 billion that they. But that's through all the national Indian tribal thing. But then they break them down to each tribe. That was qualified at the time. That was registered under the federal thing. But anyway, but the thing is that a lot of those natives was not educated. So what happened is they got all that money. They built casinos. They did all this. They end up taking money to people was in there mishandling money, doing all kind of stuff. Got casinos snatched from them. Got reservations, poor housing, all this stuff because nobody was taught how to manage money. And so
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
But you have to start with education first, and then you have to teach them the love of their people too, because when you put people in place that has control of the money, that's a little bit smarter than the rest, they the ones that always seem to be the one that's taking and messing up for the rest. Natives, the Omaha tribe lost their casino because of the tribal board. They was greedy, mishandling funds, and this is the problem. And this is my native tribe. But I'm just saying, we got to understand, and that's why I say I understand about what we need in our community. Just the point is, I just don't think business right now is the first thing we need to be touching base on. I think that we need to touch bases on the hurts, fixing the hurts first, and the hurts is what's going to help us endure into the other aspects of businesses and social, economic, whatever you want to call them.
That's basically like saying go to church. Everybody go to church. We need some feel good stuff right now. We need some personal healing right now.
So think about it like this. So
you can go do that. But heck no.
No, but
a lot more of us need to have some money right now.
We do. A lot of us.
Those who are educated that have the love for the people, yes, I believe they should have the money. Yeah. As long as they have love for the people and their best interest is for the people, I believe that they should have that. But we can't keep putting money in people that don't need to be in management position. Because we got a lot of managers that shouldn't be managers. We got a lot of leaders that shouldn't be leaders. Just because you picked up a YouTube video and say that you're smart, now all of a sudden you think you can be a leader. And we got a lot of men out there nowadays and women that think they're so conscious, they think that they can just run the world.
Yeah, Facebook. Facebook college that's not it, bro.
Yeah.
I've been in the street for a long time. I'm tough.
I've seen so many memes.
Box.
I know what I'm
doing. I can box, so I should be the leader. No, just because you can box, that don't make you a leader. Yeah. I just need you to be a warrior.
And I do. Now, don't get me wrong. Money is a very important. It's like right there with education because it's hand in hand. We say all the time that when I went to school and I got re-educated in certain things, you know how HVAC people have to get certified and recertified. Yeah. Satellite technicians, they have to get recertified. Electronic engineers. They have to keep getting recertified, re-educated to maintain a certain amount of money. It's not just because they have to stay up on the technology. Yeah. That plays a part, but it's also reassuring that they get the proper amount of money. Mm-hmm. And so it's like once you say, okay, man, I got my degree, I got my bachelor's degree in this and that. Now you have opened yourself up to new possibilities of new jobs, new money. And it's part of development.
Where? I can attest from what's it? Associates all the way up to doctorate. Get out of college, no job. In our community,
yes,
that's not true. Now you just said.
Okay, so when they went to school,
at least not here anymore.
Yeah, well, so when they went, because you guys,
they move to the white communities, or they move out to a different state, and that's what's hurting our communities too.
This is what I was talking about outsourcing, because that was perfect. I set that up to answer the question.
You know I was going to. Okay.
Yeah, because I like doing this kind of thing. But the reason why that is because so they get out of college and they be like, man, I'm about to go get me a job, and they start applying for these different jobs. Little did they know, did they clean up their criminal background while they was in the process of going to school. They may have a little issues, credit issues, backgrounds that the jobs that they're applying for, they'd be like, man, well, he's got this education or she's got this education, but the stipulation says that we can't hire this person because they don't have this, they don't have the credit, or they don't have the, they don't have these different guidelines that allow them to get the job. We witness this all the time.
Now you in debt and you can't get the job you went to school for.
And so that's what. So what happens here? What happens here in the home base in the home state? I'm just giving an example of Nebraska. Why do we see a lot of people from Nebraska leaving Nebraska with educations and then getting a job right away when they leave town?
Because this place is a trap. It's an O.
We in the heart of the
Maybe
beast.
it's a spiral.
So in order for that to change, we need the people to clean up. It's a combination of things. It's a war on all fronts. So we need a combination of getting the record expunged. I'm just taking myself as an example. Yeah. I got my record expunged. That my criminal record was a hindrance to me for a very long time, and I finally got it cleared. And then the next thing, my education. I was always able to get the lower type jobs, the janitorial, the security jobs. I'm a big 6'4.5" dude. So security,
you're hired.
Manual labor. I could lift up boards and all that, But was that what I wanted to do in my life? And so I had to educate myself. And then before all that happened, I had to know who I was, because I thought I was an electronic engineer. And so when I realized, like, oh man, I'm really not an electronic engineer. And then I had to go off my natural feeling, like, who am I? Mm-hmm. And so I started realizing, like, maybe possibly that I'm in the human services versus electrical, because now I can communicate with people, and people tend to come to me and talk to me about different things. So I had to be like, okay, so maybe it's human services. So then I got into school. I didn't even know I was a counselor. I just got into school and said I want to be in the general human services. Mm-hmm. So as I start going to school, I start realizing, like, maybe I'm a counselor because I'm getting good grades towards the chemical dependency area. And so it's a process that we go through in our life, just like how you did with your business. You may have started off in a certain different field, but later on you realize, like, man, graphic arts design, I'm fire at this. But before that, maybe you was doing warehouse work or different other positions that.
Remember we was talking about earlier? Remember we was talking about the I mentality?
Okay, yeah.
And that's one of our biggest problems in our community too, because Steve he just said something that just touched on that when he said that we have to self-discovery, or we have to do some self-discovery, but we have a lot of people now in our community. Every time you hear them say, "Well, I can't do nothing until I work on it myself." Now, me and Steve was reading earlier, and I was just reading. We were just searching through the good books,
Yeah. Okay.
And so and so when we were searching through the good books, and the good book never spoke on the word "I." It always spoke on love. If you love thy Lord, thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul, and then love thy neighbor, thy brother, thy sister. That takes away from all of the I, because then you start, because love covers the multitude of many sin of all things. It covers all that stuff. So if you just learn to love people, period, and love the universal by universal code, which is just love. Until somebody violate that, then you still gotta love them. You just kind of find them. You love from a distance or something like that. But if you learn to love people, period, then I guarantee that will start that will stop all the I mentality. We'll get back into us, start thinking about how we can fix our community, how us as a whole, and how our community can flourish through these.
I like that message. It's romantic.
Look at my.
It's romantic. No, literally, it's acceptance, accepting things the way that they are.
Yes.
It's not. That's really pretty, but. I get what you're saying though.
But you have to love. You have to love life itself. And love, and this loving right. To live, right, and now everybody's breathing just like you breathing. And
right now, you just got to do your job. That's really this generation that's 30 and up right now. You got to do your job so that the next generation that's come to 20s, to 17, 15. I would say in increments of 10. If you're 30 and up, you got to do your job. You just got to do your part. You figured out what you're good at by now.
And what?
Most of us anyway. If they 10 years old, 20 years old, they're coming up. That's who we're working for right now. Mm-hmm. We're working for them. Make no mistake. We're working for the next generation.
Yeah.
It's no other reason. You're not working on yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
You're working on yourself for the next generation.
Yes.
And I was gonna say this too, that what happens is that the generation that's coming forth, they don't know that we're doing this. So they're oblivious to the plan and strategizing that we're using to try to ensure they're a better future for them.
That's a critical flaw. Because what is wrong with us that we think that they are, just because they're younger? Look, kids are this.
They're smarter than we think.
Right, kids are adults without all of the experiences and without a full vocabulary. That's it. Mm-hmm. They perceive everything exactly the same way we do. That's why they pick up on everything. And they stand there and look at us like we stupid because we keep treating them like they just kids. No, they're adults. They can get it. Give it to them. But tell them what we're doing.
But see now,
had a conversation.
No, and I agree. So you have to teach them. There goes the smart. And so you have to teach them. This is what I was talking about, the education part. It goes back into a 360 because we have to have education, because now we're talking about the children and how do they know? It's like they can watch. They're being educated as they watch. Yeah. And now you're teaching them about, hey, this is how daddy does this, or this is how mommy does this. And then they're like, okay, I get it. And then if they try to repeat it, they don't have it completely correct because of their stature, because of the way that their brain is at that moment, because they do think in a childlike manner.
No, they don't. That's not true. Well, they think just like you think. They're just younger than you.
But what I'm saying is okay. It's like,
we gotta get rid of that language that those aliens over there think differently than we do. So we have to with the kitty club. No, give him. My son's 13. He's 14. I gave him my business. He produced. Well, I didn't really get many clues. I understood that this is their generation. I mean, we started it, but this is their generation. Here, let me see what you do with it. But give it to them.
But a lot of children don't have that same opportunity, and so.
But I'm saying, you stop talking like that.
Well, I gotta bring it into a broad light because I want to touch the whole audience, because see, if we say, okay, right. If I'd be like, oh man, this is preferably this is how I raise my children. My son right now, he attends college at UNO for business marketing. He's got a really productive job. He's got his pharmacist license. Great. He's got his own car. He understands about paying his own bills. Yeah. And he's doing the right things in life. Okay, yeah, it took me a while to keep him, hey, son, have you done this? Oh, I haven't did it yet. Well, you can't procrastinate. You got to be on it, son. You got to be more focused on your goals and making them achievable. Yeah,
You see me, I was getting on my son. Yeah, getting my son in the car. I was telling you about it. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, my son's genetically he's gonna follow. He's following under my old behavior. So I'm trying to catch that before he falls into the same trap that I fell in. Mm-hmm. But he's hard-headed.
Sins of the father and all that.
Yeah. He's hard-headed, but I think he's gonna get it this time. I'm just praying that he does this time.
and which will happen, because guess what? Everything's an evolution. Right. Language, character, jobs, everything's an evolution.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Steve.
It is.
I'm so glad to hear you say everything. Everything is evolution.
Everything is. It's all about evolution, because everything's evolving. We're in an ever-changing environment that grows every single day.
All right.
And so we
didn't even have to poke you for that one.
No, we talk about that. And that's why I like having conversations like this, because we don't try to bash each other and be like, oh man, well, I'm gonna beat you up and try. It's all got a role in how we develop the community.
And
obviously,
we disagree on lots of other.
Yeah, I diametrically disagree with y'all on this or that situation. But people that watch this, you need to understand that you can have a debate. Debate is respectful. Argument may or may not be respectful. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. You can tell if you're having a debate with somebody if you can have some respect for the person that you're opposed to. You can be opposed without being a vindictive, evil, nasty, ugly. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be all that visceral.
and then we're gonna do that. And we're gonna all walk out here with our integrity intact.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even though we had a disagreement.
Yep. Oh yeah. So I mean, for the most part, I wanted to touch bases also on this about the Trump situation.
Oh my God, this dude is an idiot.
Well,
he's
know what?
An idiot. He's a visible idiot.
I'm gonna play the different.
He tans wrong. He's a visible idiot.
But okay, now so in the last presidencies that we done had, including Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, George Bush the senior, you got to think about this. So out of all them presidents, when he came into the stage, he was like, they was trying to tell him like, hey, listen, such and such. He dictates what is going to happen during press conference. He dictates the communications that others are going to be engaging with when they deal with the United States of America. His attitude and persona and philosophy when it comes to trying to jumpstart jobs here in the United States of America, I'm for that attitude as regards to jumpstarting jobs in the community. Correctness. And he's not politically correct. That's because he's straightforward. You got when
he's like Bush, but he's a little rougher than Bush.
Yeah.
But Bush was like that too a little bit. Bush was like, it's going this way, and this is just how it's going to go.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Now, do I agree with him saying I'm gonna grab a female by the, and all this stuff like that? No, I don't agree with that. Well, hey, that's what he said.
Yeah,
I mean, it was recorded. That's what he said. Do I agree with him saying like, hey, Hispanics, they're good for doing? Well, I don't want to misquote because I don't know exactly what he said, but I can tell you this: there's people that work for Trump that say that they get great health care benefits. They say that they get good wages and that they're surviving and living a comfortable life. Now, do I say Trump is the best? No. I'm saying that, okay, what is he telling us as a people that we have to be aware of?
Well, he did say
there's only the only thing I wouldn't even call it a redeeming factor about him at all is the fact that you can make money around him. Other than that, I don't care.
Well, but
I don't even care. I accept him the way that he is. I think he's an idiot.
But do you think
he's a schmuck? I think he's
cocky.
Like he's an idiot on accident. He's an accident. Is what he is. He's a
test tube baby.
He is a retard. There's no reason. I don't have any respect for him at all. Not his money. I don't care about his straight talk. That's just white boy garbage. I don't care. You can make money around him. Again, like when I was working at TD Ameritrade, stock market jumped. He said, well, I don't like the way that the healthcare system is working, and none of them made any money. All of them lost money. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? That's not insider facts at all. That's general public information. But outside of the fact that you can make money around him, if you look for how America makes money, this entire presidency, you probably make some money. Other than that, I don't care to watch, hear him talk, nothing else. He's already said everything I need to hear.
But you know what? But the thing is about Donald Trump is that the way he communicates and convey his information to us is under the Constitution. So he stays in the Constitution. But Barack Obama was trying to eliminate that Constitution by trying to stay political correct. So every time you word check everything, word play everything.
What you talking about?
Trump.
It said freedom of speech.
Yeah. Obama, they was trying to calm
He's
down.
free to speak the way he talk. He's free to speak the way he talk.
Yeah, but they was trying to make us not to, when you can't get on TV and say that, or you can't say, Trump was like, hey, I don't give a damn what y'all say. He beating his chest, telling people. He told that news lady, CNN, y'all grabbing this station. He said, y'all. I'm talking, he just straight up.
I seen that video.
You know what I'm saying? It's just funny that this guy is straight up. And I'm not a Trump fan, but like I said, we need to get rid of a lot of this political correctness. I'm telling you, that's what's killing us too, man. It's killing us.
What about, okay, I think what you're calling political correctness is what some on the other side of that idea is people that are trying to present the ideal individual, the ideal American idea. You know what I'm saying? The American pie, the American idea. They're trying to strive for that. We call that political incorrectness. And
who's trying to strive for that?
I think that's I'm saying on the flip side of that coin you just flipped.
Oh, okay.
You know, straightforward is Trump. I just see an idiot. I don't see straightforward. I see him say dumb shit on TV. What we're recording him. See, he said something else stupid. I'm talking about.
Okay, but when people, say for instance, hypothetically, when somebody says something to Barack Obama, they automatically got fired because they felt like it was a racist, it was this, and then people were scared to say something.
You supposed to get fired for talking to the president.
But I know, but what I'm saying is that I want to know what people got on their mind because then I know where they at. Then I know where they stand. I'd rather know where somebody stand than for somebody to hide behind something.
Okay.
So that's why I like about Trump. He is what it is. We know he racist. It is what it is. We just got to deal with it because at least we know where he's at. So them people that sit up there trying to talk about come over there kissing black babies and act like they're your friend.
This is acceptable. There's a culture out there that thinks that's that. Obviously, I've heard that more than one time.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's absolutely not acceptable.
Well, no,
I reject all of that shit.
I think for the most part, this is what it is. So Trump, he does have a straightforwardness about himself, and some people might call it arrogance. Some might call it like
no
you said,
training at all.
No training in that type of job. But guess what? The people elected Trump into office, and it wasn't just white people. It was black people, Mexicans, Chinese. It was all types of people that
they said women
elected Trump into the office
over Hillary.
So this is what we have to think about, and we ain't talking about that Trump won by a few thousand. We're talking about Trump blew Hillary out the water.
She won the popular vote. He won.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't count.
He won the electoral. He didn't blow her out. He lost. If it was up to the people, he lost badly. If it was up to the people,
but it's not.
Okay.
He
didn't even lose.
No, I take that back. The electoral is a voice of the people. But what people are we addressing?
When I say that though, there's a difference between hey everybody go vote and then on the other side, hey everybody go vote. Y'all don't get to make y'all decisions. We'll make them for you. There's a difference right there.
So the electoral is the people make the powers that be that making the decision, and then
former governors and mayors of states.
But the popular vote
and judges,
and it's based off of the popular vote. It's supposed to be based off of the popular vote.
It is supposed to be based off the popular vote.
So
they do is they tally up the popular vote.
Yeah. And
the electoral college says, which again, like I said, the electoral college are not just the powers that be. Those are former mayors, former governors, former judges, state judges, and stuff like that. These are the people that say, well, we see how you voted, but we're going to go this way anyway because we think this person is in the better interest of the country. This particular election didn't reflect even that logic. It reflected, hey, I like a billionaire. That's what it reflected stupidity. It didn't reflect, hey, he knows what he's doing. Hey, he might actually work. It didn't reflect any of these logical thread lines that you might go down. It reflected he has $1 billion. He's going to be president. Everybody just fall over. That's what it reflected. There wasn't anything intelligent about it. It was gaffe after gaffe after stupid thing after stupid thing after stupid thing. The guy's getting ready to be president, and he tweets like he's a 12-year-old little girl. It's just stupid. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. And I don't have anything positive to say about him besides the fact that just because he has money around him, there is opportunity to make money around him. Money goes where money flows.
And
that's it.
Here too, so we got to wrap it up.
So yeah, we just talked about a lot of different things involving the process of elimination, and we talked about how the financial area in our communities could be very vital if we just only network and communicate with each other the proper ways, and getting educated on a lot of the issues that we face in our society is going to help us grow correctly also. You know, myself, Big Steve, you know, representing we us and ours.
My name's Mike Phelps, and I'm just happy to be here and talk about the issue that plague our community and plague us as a people. So hopefully that those who are listening, y'all take heed, and next time maybe I want to chime in and call in and talk with us.
All right, well, my name is Michael Barnes. I represent a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a graphic designer by trade, but by purpose I'm a speaker. I represent CFDesignsOnline.com. Legendary Arts, that's my comic book company. You can go to LegendaryArtsOnline.com. I also am involved with a lot of the community efforts in terms of activism and things like that. You'll see me eventually, and even when you don't see me, because when I design something, it goes up.
You'll see it.
You still see me.
And you know, right now, signing off.
All right.
We us and ours.
That was a good conversation.
Oh man. Yeah. All right. He had to come in and cut it off. Mike, you not cut it off?
No, I'm not going to touch it.
Whatever.
Well,
That's not my lane, but.
you wailing them out there? I probably heard them from the field.
Yeah, the 1690 AM one. Okay, so that's why I put it on the.
Yeah, wait a minute. I thought you were talking about the other one.
No,
Yeah,
that's
you on we got our own app on Android, and then we're on TuneIn. You're on TuneIn also.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
So I just basically start